leaving the hospital with another surgery booked. Oh my gosh. The clinic is back that way. Very quiet in here today. I'm at the surgeon's office again. Or actually at the clinic. On my way home from the hospital, all is good. Have a long walk when you can't walk very well. Hey guys, welcome to CRPS Diaries, or welcome back if you've been here before. Oh my gosh, I look a mess. Anyway, it's real life. I haven't been on for like at least 2 months, and I'm sorry about that, guys, but life has been happening. And at some points there really wasn't that a lot to update you on, but more is taking place now. So I don't know how to make this short as I can without with all that I gotta fill you in on. But as far as my CRPS, my foot is still bad. It's the same and nothing's changed. It hasn't spread, thankfully, with all the surgeries. If you've followed along in my vlogs, you'll know that I've had, I think it's 9 surgeries in under 2 years on my feet. And one of those surgeries triggered CRPS, and it's in my left foot. And it actually travels up to my knee, but the worst of the pain is mainly in my foot. So can't walk very well. I try to walk during the days where the pain seems to be a bit less. Come afternoon, evening, it gets really bad, and then I use my power wheelchair. A power wheelchair because I have arthritis everywhere, so being able to wheel a chair manually for me, my shoulders are pretty bad too. So that's kind of the update on that foot. It's all healed from the last surgery. It's doing well from the last surgery. I think we're done. So that's kind of the goodish news. In other news, I got a lot of other stuff going on now. Surgeries included upcoming. So it's been really, really, really hard, you know. I figured out some bad news about a family member of mine that I won't go into on here lest they see. So that was sad in a way for me. And then my right foot, which is the non-CRPS foot, has been having a lot of trouble. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know that after I had the fusion done on my big toe, I had the hardware removed, which was fine, and it went fine. It felt better without the hardware for sure. But I've been getting like what we thought was an ingrown toenail. So in one surgery during one surgery on my foot, I had a partial toenail removal. That grew back. The problem was still there. And so I had to go back to the surgeon and have a procedure. And that was a big mess up, which I think I've left in another vlog video. But I ended up having to have my full toenail removed and a little bit more of it burned, so not the full toenail would grow back. Most of it would, but some of it wouldn't. And the surgeon then said that it was actually a tissue reaction I was having, where he thought it was actually necrotic tissue at one point. So I went with that, and then that was brutal. For me, toenail removals, toenail anything, that's a weakness of mine. Ugh. Anyway, my toenail is mostly growing back, and I've been having constant tissue reactions. And I believed longer than my surgeon clued in that it's because when my fusion healed, my toe healed crooked. It was also shorter than it was before. So the way that I'm bearing weight and the way that my other toes are folding underneath my big toe is the issue. It's not an ingrown toenail. It's a tissue reaction that's constantly happening over and over again because of my toe being crooked and shorter. So, and the tissue reaction is really painful. It feels like a bad ingrown toenail. So I had to go back to the surgeon again, and talk with him. And at first he said, well, we can remove the toenail permanently. And I'm like, I don't think it is my toenail. I said, if you see where my last reaction has been and is, it's not even near a toenail. So I don't know if it's going to help. And at first he didn't really see my point, but then he asked me to stand up. And he's like, I see the problem. I see what you mean. So then I was given two choices, and one was very shocking to me. My one choice was to amputate the toe next to it. And I was like, it was really hard to focus after he said that on anything else he was suggesting, but I forced myself to because I had to. The other option is to break the fused toe and redo the whole fusion, plates and screws and everything. And then I had also had a call 2 weeks prior from the surgery department for my Haglund surgery, which is the surgery that they have to cut my Achilles tendon on the same foot, on the right foot, and remove a bone spur and then reattach the tendon. Huge surgery, long recovery. Like, I won't be walking or bearing weight probably for 12 weeks. And if I am at all before 12 weeks, it would be in a boot. And just a really long, hard recovery. And it also involves, it can injure nerves. So, high risk with CRPS. They called me about that surgery, which I've been turning down because of all these other surgeries I've needed on my feet that have come up because of complications. So anyway, to make a longer story short, I had to make the choice of whether to amputate, whether to have a fusion, have my toe rebroken and have a fusion done, and whether or not to have the Haglund's deformity surgery along with the fusion or whatever surgery I chose on my toes, so that it's over and done with. And I might have to have one more surgery after that to have the hardware removed. I'm pretty sure that'll happen too, so it might be one after that, but then it's all said and done. 2 surgeries in one, because it's all on one foot. So, oh my gosh, that day I came home like a mess. It's a wonder I was able to drive home okay after, because I was in shock and I was in tears. And when I left the the clinic, it's our old hospital up here is our surgeon's clinic. I left the surgeon and we had decided to just go with the fusion, not the amputation. He kept saying for aesthetic reasons, but I wasn't thinking aesthetic. I was thinking amputation, like no. And then, so we decided to just go with the fusion, the re-break and the fusion, and then see how I do with that because of the CRPS risk, and then come back around to the Haglund's thing. But I came home like totally a mess and talked with my husband, and first of all, and my husband said no to amputation, which I'm glad he did. I had already felt that way too, but I wanted to know his reasons. And he said, well, what if you're still stepping wrong on that toe even after the amputation and it still causes the same problems? And he's right. Like, I had never even thought of that. And then I talked to 2 friends, one's like a mom to me and one's like a friend that's been a friend for many, many, many years. And everybody was saying, do the 2 surgeries at once. Get them over with. It'll be hard, but get them over with. Like, you know, you don't want to have to go back for another one and be off again, you know, especially with my right foot where I can't drive. I can't walk because I can't walk on my left foot much. So anyway, after talking to all these people, and my friend also saying if you get a toe removed, you could also be dealing with phantom pain, which I hadn't thought of. So the risk of CRPS and phantom pain. So decided not to go with the amputation, having the fusion done, having the Haglund surgery, deformity surgery done at the same time. And it's in less than a month. It is February 24th that I'll be having that. And I am freaking terrified, like terrified. Because like I said, the Haglund surgery is a brutal surgery for recovery. Like, I mean, cutting your Achilles tendon, right? Like you cannot bear weight. And right foot, and I struggle to bear weight on my left foot. And if I have to both bear full weight every time I need to stand on that left foot, oh my God, the pain. Like, just a refresher that the CRPS I have in my left foot is the most painful condition known to mankind. And that's a foot that I'm going to have to stand on for like 12 weeks whenever I stand. Like, you know, when I transfer to the tub or whatever, get out of bed, I'm going to have to stand on that foot. I'm in a wheelchair because I can't walk on it right now, you know, or maybe never again properly. So I'm struggling. I'm terrified. But I also want it over with. And it's going to be such a long haul, like 12 weeks of not being able to walk much, not being able to drive, my husband being left with everything, you know, like our whole house is 3 levels of steps. I can't go up and down. So my poor husband is going to be dealing with the laundry and just extras that I normally do. And I'm going to have like a bunch of freezer meals I've already started made up ahead of time. So all he has to do is come home and heat them up and doesn't have to cook when he comes home too. Oh, I'm glad I have the power wheelchair, and I'm glad it's one that raises up to reach countertops, because maybe after the first couple of weeks I can do some stuff on the main floor in my wheelchair, you know, but I don't know. I always manage to figure out a way. I've had double bilateral foot surgery before and I figured it out. So it's just going to be such a long haul. And I'm scared with the cutting my tendon and the nerves that are involved, and CRPS. And anyway, I've reported all the abuse. If you watch my other videos, you'll know I've dealt with a lot of abuse and neglect at the hospital during surgeries. I've reported that all. You can go back and watch the videos. And then I haven't heard back from them, other than to ask me a couple questions. And I asked them what surgeon treated me so brutally in my last surgery, and she told me, and then she called me back and said, no, it's not him, you've got to get your medical records and find out for yourself. Well, I did that. I got 2 years worth of my medical records, everything, pictures, everything. It was the one she was talking about. She was covering her own ass. So I'm not even sure if they'll call me back. But I did have a talk with my surgeon, because I said, if I'm having surgery again, I said I was brutalized by the last anesthesiologist that I dealt with. And I said, I don't want him again. And so he was very good about it. And he said, we'll work out that you don't have him again. And he said, I wish I could help, but I'm not the one to tell. Here's where you can report and whatnot. And he said, sometimes people can just have a gruff day. He said, I have gruff days. And I said, I understand gruff. I don't understand brutalizing me. That's not right. And I don't want him again. And he didn't follow protocol that he was supposed to follow for combating CRPS spread during surgery. He didn't even talk to me. He didn't even give me his name. He was so cruel. Anyway, you can go back. I have another video explaining that. So yeah, so I'm facing a major surgery on my right foot that's going to lay me up for months. it's really actually a year-long recovery for the Haglunds alone. Now having double surgery on that foot, who knows? But the scary part for me is the Haglunds, because it's hard to relearn to walk again after that. And it'll probably require physiotherapy. And given this is my right foot and I can't drive, I don't even know how I'm going to get there. I don't even know how I'm going to get to follow-ups, appointments, you know? Anyway, so that's that. And then the other thing is, I went to the eye doctor recently to get my eyes checked for the first time in over 2 years. And I'm supposed to be having cataract checks every like 6 months, but the government covers 1 year, and then my insurance will cover like a full exam every 2 years. I just hadn't been, I was putting it off, and I finally decided I better go. I needed to. I need new glasses. I can't see great. And so I got bad news there too. Good news is I don't need cataract surgery yet. So that I was so excited that I don't need cataract surgery yet, because that is like a 10-hour round trip drive away. Another surgery, even if it's quick and easy, it's not quick and easy when you have to make arrangements to drive 10-hour round trips and have it out of town so far. So that's the good news. The bad news is I've suspected this for a long time, but now it's confirmed that I have a new autoimmune disease. Or maybe it's been there, it's diagnosed now that I have Sjogren's. So Sjogren's causes a lot of things. It's systemic, it's autoimmune, it can attack anything in your body, but it's very known for causing severely dry eyes and dry mouth, dry nose. I have all of that. So that was sad. And then I found out I had another eye disease that's new to me. And oh my gosh, I don't have my notes in front of me. I'm going to have to come back to it, but it means that the top layer of my cornea doesn't adhere to the second layer underneath properly. And it can cause ulcerations and vision problems and pain, and so I have that. He said it's mild right now, but I have it, and so I have that. And then I also found out that years ago I was on Plaquenil for my autoimmune disease. It's known to cause eye damage, but I wouldn't have technically been on it long enough for it to cause eye damage, and it was watched. But years later now, it's showing that it has. It's not major, but it's there, and it's like, wow. So 3 things affecting my eyes. Basically all we can do right now is I have to put in eye drops 4 times a day. They have to be without preservatives. I'm supposed to be putting a heat thing over my eyes, like heating thing over my eyes for 10 minutes every day, and then massaging the eyelids and underneath to help stimulate tear production. But I overheat so easy. I can't stand the heat, but I am doing the eye drops. So that was bad news. Now I have another autoimmune disease, or it's confirmed, and another disease I didn't expect, and damage from the meds that I was on years ago, and who knows if that's going to progress. I'm really glad I went, and I will be getting new glasses soon. Can't wait. I'm tired of these ones, and hopefully I can see better with my new ones. So there's just been so much going on, and this next less than a month is again going to be crazy for me. My husband's constantly trying to remind me, don't push too hard, don't push too hard. But there's so much that has to get done before I have surgery. Like meal prep and just like cleaning, and I'll have to give myself another haircut and washing bed sheets, and just a lot of stuff that I have to do to prepare ahead so that it's less work after. It's like crazy in the beginning, but it's after it pays off. So, and I'm not sleeping hardly at all. Like I'm going 3 nights in a row without getting much sleep, if any at all. I'm really struggling to sleep. I think I'm in perimenopause full blown, and am getting all the bad side effects of that. So I am a wreck. I'm a wreck. I'll be blunt and honest. I'm struggling. Thankfully, I have a therapist that helps a lot, and I have a very supportive husband, and for that I'm grateful. I just don't want to put any more on him, and his work has been a really, really, really bad situation. It's never been particularly good, but it's gone from good to severely bad, so that's stressful as well. So yeah, I wish I had better news. The good news is I don't need cataract surgery and I'm getting new glasses, but it's going to be crazy. Anyway, this is really long. I didn't want it to go this long, so I will end here. If you're willing, hit the like and subscribe button below, and the bell to be notified of further vlog posts. I'll try to do some vlogging throughout surgery and recovery. And thank you for listening. If you've listened to this whole thing, there's hope, and hope is a good thing. Oh, sorry about that.